Dunoon was founded in 1974 by pottery expert Gordon Smith. He had a vision to produce high-quality, well-designed mugs here in Britain. Today, the company continues to thrive under the stewardship of the Smith family and has gone from strength to strength, developing a huge range of fine bone china mugs made at the Dunoon factory in Staffordshire, England.
We started 1974 in a small factory on the west coast of Scotland, and today, with this much larger institution, producing here in Staffordshire, England, selling worldwide to over 60 countries.
It's always been about producing a great gift, something that's unique, different to what else is out there on the market.
Increasingly, as I travel the world and my colleagues travel the world, our customers are saying, where's it made? We only want made in England. And thankfully, we stuck to our guns and we're still making here.
Today, Dunoon's mugs ship across the globe, but every mug begins its life right here at the Dunoon factory, nestled in the rolling hills of the Staffordshire countryside. The process starts with the manufacturing of the plaster of Paris moulds from which all of our mugs are made. Plaster and water are mixed together and carefully poured into rubber cases before being allowed to set. Our high-quality clay is mixed with water to form a suspension known as slip. This will form the body of our mugs. The slip is carefully poured into the moulds to begin the casting. This all happens in a beautifully choreographed process that allows the perfect thickness for each mug every time. The excess slip is poured out and recycled as the mould drains. The moulds are emptied, the soft clay mugs are inspected for quality and consistency, and are then sponged down by hand to carefully remove any imperfections. Meanwhile, the handles for our mugs are being cast in these two-part plaster moulds. When ready, the handles are individually applied by hand, with any excess slip being carefully sponged away.
Better quality, I think, to be honest. Instead of being machine-made, everything's handmade, it's a lot better quality.
The beauty about handcrafting is it gives us more flexibility. It gives us more flexibility on shape.
It is a skill that people have to have. We aren't monitoring machines that are reproducing exactly the same thing all the time. We've got people who've got individual skills.
It gives us a very fine quality, nice and fine mugs, very strong, but it means that they're very light to hold and fine to touch, which is what people like about our mugs.
With the mugs assembled, they are ready to be fired in the kilns at 1220 degrees Celsius for 11 hours. You'll notice these soft clay mugs are somewhat larger than we'd expect. During the firing process, the mugs will shrink by around 15% as the moisture is fired out of the suspension. After firing, we can see the significantly smaller mugs, now known as biscuit, are ready for their next inspection. Any faults in the mugs will now be polished and ground by our technicians. These mugs will then all be polished again in our vibro mill, a machine filled with granite stones that will iron out any and all imperfections in the mug. From here, all of our mugs are glazed. The glaze is applied to each and every mug by hand, giving our mugs an attractive gloss appearance that will last forever. Every mug, when dried, will now go once more into a kiln, this time firing for 7 hours at a slightly cooler temperature of 1080 degrees Celsius. Every mug is once more inspected by hand, with any faults being polished out, ready for decorating. Across the site, our artwork team are constantly working on unique, often hand-painted mug designs, which are then interpreted with precision by a team of screen printing specialists.
They're mostly painted in watercolour, very detailed. I don't think you'll ever replace hand-painted product.
Using computer software, these hand-painted designs are separated into various colours, ready to be screen printed.
Effectively, it's taking the standard screen print process, adapting it using ceramic enamels instead of standard colours, so that they can be applied to all sorts of pottery, earthenware, china, etc., different shapes, which are then kiln fired. We have about 9 colours in this design. It's usually starting with the lightest colour, so we have a yellow, then we go on to an orange, then we go on to a red printing, then there are the 2 stages of blues and greys, gradually building up to a black being at the end.
Once the screen-printed transfers have been printed and dried, they arrive at the assembly area, where our technicians painstakingly apply each print by hand. Many of our mugs feature inside, outside and handle motifs, as well as the Danone backstamp, which includes the artist's name. After application and quality control, the decorated mugs are fired for a final time, this time at the relatively cool temperature of 825 degrees Celsius for 5 hours. This process removes the yellow backing from the print transfers and allows the enamel colours to fire and soften into the glazed surface. Finally, each mug is checked thoroughly once more by our quality control specialists. If the mug meets their stringent criteria, the Danone Shield label will be applied, our own personal seal of quality. These handmade mugs are packaged with the utmost care and attention, ready to ship around the world to our partners in Europe, Asia, America, indeed every corner of the globe. Although we do keep some of them right here in Stone to populate our flagship high street store.
I think I'm very proud of what we have here. It's not always plain sailing, but definitely it's great to be here, making in the United Kingdom, employing lots of people here and employing them for a long time.
I think we will continue to come up with new designs. I think we'll continue to come up with innovative shapes, and that way we can carry on producing the best mugs in the world right here in the UK.
A comment I often get is tea or coffee just tastes so much better out of a Danone mug. And although the designs are fantastic, I think it's the actual feel, the delicacy, the fineness, and genuinely I think they're right. I think the tea and coffee do taste better out of a Danone mug.